Rising. This is your 2021 astrological forecast. And we will cover Mars through the signs, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, Mercury retrograde phases, Venus through the signs, and Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, as well as the eclipses. So, to start off, Leo rising, we have Mars in Taurus, and that is from January 1st to March 3rd. And Leo rising, this will be in your natal or solar 10th house. And so, Leo rising, Mars in Taurus is at the top of your chart. And what does the 10th house rule? It is the house of career, and you will be putting much in the way of action into your reputation, career aims, and goals. Make your aims and career work. Leo rising. The next Mars we have is Mars in Gemini up until April 23rd, from March 3rd to April 23rd, and that will be in Gemini. And Leo rising, that will be in your natal 11th house of clubs, organizations, friendships, hopes, and dreams. So therefore you will be putting much in the way of action into all your organizations and hanging out with your best buds quite a bit. Perhaps you will be the leader of your friends, and all of you can make those wonderful hopes and wishes come true. The next Mars we have is Mars in Cancer, and that is April 23rd until June 11th. Now, this Mars in Cancer, Leo rising, will be in your natal or solar 12th house. So this is a time you will feel especially busy and connected, especially with Mars in Cancer, making a blessed trine to Neptune in Pisces. You will feel especially dreamy. Maybe you will take action in writing down some of those psychic visions and dreams. Great time, Leo rising. If you are also looking to any kind of medical activities or solutions for you at this time. Also, surprising information, hidden information will come out about this time. Now, moving along, Leo rising, we have from June 11th till July 29th, we have Mars in Leo rising in your first house. Now, Mars is very active with your first house, with putting your best foot forward and show everybody, Leo rising, your natural sense of drama, magnetic personality, and razzle dazzle. Leo rising, especially because it will oppose the Saturn and Jupiter connection in your 7th house of relationships. So your 1st and 7th house axis will become especially important to you, Leo rising. Make your relationships and your personality plus go to the best. Let everybody notice you. Now, there is a square off with Uranus and Taurus at the top of your house. So there could be some snafus with those in charge, Leo rising, or some blocks with your career. But because you are a fixed sign, Leo rising, and extremely determined, you will make it through. The next Mars we have is from July 29th to September 14th, and Mars will be in the very detail-oriented sign of Virgo. And this Mars, Leo rising, is in your 2nd house of income. So you will see your income rise by leaps and bounds. At the very least, Leo rising, you will make supreme efforts to take off on all those money and investment interest. This is a time to be very cautious, however, Leo, and not to be deceived by what you say or what you hear, since the second house also rules speech. However, it is a great time to open up a savings account and increase your funds. Now we move on to Mars in Libra, and that will be September 14th to October 30th. Now, Libra is in your natal or solar third house, Leo rising. And Leo and Libra really get along and like each other. So people will also listen to any and all your communications. Maybe it's a great time for you to get that new vehicle you always wanted, and you will be, Leo rising, quite popular in your neighborhood or locale. Now, moving along, we have Leo rising. We have Mars in Scorpio, and that will be from October 30th until December 13th. Now, Mars in Scorpio, Leo rising, will be making a little bit of a tense T-square between Uranus and Taurus, and your rising sign and Mars in Scorpio in your natal or solar fourth house. So, family issues could be a little tense now. However, with Leo's amazing flair for getting along, don't worry, you will find a way to make everything work with those closest to you. Great time to spruce up your house and put action into those renovations or buying a new piece of property, Leo rising. Now, we come to the wonderful and amazing Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. Now, December 21st to early March, the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction will be affected in 0 degrees Aquarius, and that will be in your 7th house. However, after early March, Saturn and Jupiter will be in Aquarius, however, not by the astrological 7 degrees. However, they will light up your 7th house, Leo rising, and this is with partnerships. And because this is such a rare conjunction, Leo rising, you will have a rare time to find that special someone if you are single. And of all times, this is a great time to make a commitment, up that partnership to the next level, Leo rising. And because Jupiter's there, what a great time to install some wonderful sense of fun in your wonderful partnership sector, Leo rising. With Saturn there could be some stumbling blocks. However, it will be a wise teacher, as you will learn much from Saturn and Jupiter there. However, nonetheless, your partnership sector and business deals will be, well, just as rare as this conjunction. Make it work, Leo rising. So, we do have from May 13th on, Jupiter going into your natal or solar 8th house, and it will be in the early degrees of Pisces. However, Pisces, Jupiter is very gentle, and Jupiter is the old ruler of Pisces. So you will be very able to express, Leo rising, your deepest feelings and thoughts. And because Jupiter is expansive in your 8th house, you may find this is a great time for real estate or financial deals, or you may just want to express your deepest feelings to those closest to you. And anything that you need to get closure on or to start, since the 8th house rules beginnings and endings, well, Leo rising, this is the time for you. Now, we then move on from June 21st, Jupiter goes retrograde in Pisces. So you may feel for a very brief time, up until July 28th, that sometimes you want to express your deepest feelings, but you do not find the positive response. Not to worry, Leo rising, you have Neptune there with Jupiter, although not in conjunction. So write down some of those thoughts and feelings that you have and be inspired, Leo. Now we move on to Venus through the signs. Now, Venus will be joining up with Pisces on February 25th to March 21st. And yes, again, we have that Pisces influence, Leo rising. And that is again in your 8th house. Oh, Venus is most elevated in Pisces, and with Neptune, this is a great time to feel oh so inspired. Leo rising. 8th house is one of transformation, so maybe you're going to make some serious changes now with Venus in the 8th house. Now, moving along, we have March 21st to April 14th. Venus will go into Aries at the top of your chart in Aries on the 9th house. And what does 9th house rule? Leo rising. It rules education, training, long distance travel. So maybe you are going to pursue some of those educational dreams at this time, and you will get that oh so wonderful on the job training you have always wanted. And it's a great time to look around and do some serious long distance travel. And if Venus is at the top of your chart on the midheaven, wow, what a blessed and wonderful career time for you, Leo rising. Now, moving along, on May 8th to June 2nd, we have Venus in Gemini. And, we have from April 14th to May 8th, we have Venus in Taurus, Leo rising. And this will also be at the top of your chart in your 10th house. And 10th house, Leo rising, is directly connected with your career. So with Taurus there may be a little bit of a block or some issues with your superiors, Leo rising, as Uranus is going to join up with Venus. But oh boy, with Venus and Uranus in your career house, what a unique and unusual way of expressing your career aims. Nonetheless, with Venus and Uranus in your 10th house, people will look to you for some strong, insightful, unique leadership, Leo rising. Now we do move on to Venus in Gemini, and this is, yes, May 8th to June 2nd. And Leo rising, this will be in your friend sector of the 11th house. And again, it's time for party and fun with friends, with Venus sweetening the pot in your 11th house. Yes, make the law of attraction come true, Leo rising. And hey, play the lotto and do some speculative efforts as well. Then we move on, June 2nd to June 27th. We have Venus in the sweet and sensitive sign of Cancer, and that is in your 12th house. And kind of like Mars, Venus is going to be oh so sweet and loving in your 12th house with that sweet and sensitive trine to Neptune at this time, Leo rising. So yes, some hidden or secretive information could come out at this time, but because of the water sign emphasis, you may feel especially now some of that blessed and loving healing energy. Great time to look into also maybe some alternative forms of medicine, Leo rising. Then we move along from June 27th to July 21st. We have, yes, Venus in the very detail-oriented sign of Virgo. And that will be no, that what we're gonna back up there, Leo. We have June 2nd, June 27th to July 21st, the Venus in your first house of Leo. Yes. So, what is Venus over your first house, Leo rising? Venus sweetens that beautiful and magnetic, dramatic appearance of yours, Leo rising. This is a time to definitely put your best foot forward and be the superstar you are, Leo rising. Yes, then we move on July 21st to August 16 with, yes, Venus in the detail-oriented sign of Virgo. And Virgo is going to be sweetening the pot in your second house. Great time, like Mars, to open a bank account or expand on your financial desires. Perhaps now, Leo rising, you will look for a second source of income. Watch your money grow with Venus in Virgo in your second house. Moving along, Leo rising, we have August 16th to September 10th. We have Venus through the very balanced and outgoing sign of Libra, and that is in your natal third house. Now, Venus will sweeten your speech and sweeten all your communications. And now, Libra does form a square with ambitious Pluto. So, be very careful that your communications with those closest to you, Leo rising, are exceptionally clear now. However, with sociable Libra on your third house, this is a great time for gatherings and show everyone the leader that you are and just how to communicate, Leo rising. Then we move along September 10th to October 7th. We have Venus in deep and sexy Scorpio, Leo rising, and that is in your fourth house of family. This is a great time to sweeten the pot with all nice communications with those closest to you. However, almost like the third house, be very clear with that T-square. Be very certain that you want to show family how serious you are about loving and beautiful communication. Also, with Venus there, Leo rising, it is a marvelous time to absolutely make your abode the most gorgeous it can be. Moving along, Leo rising, we have October 7th to November 5th. We have Venus in Sagittarius, and that is in your very fun, loving fifth house, and that is in a very fun, loving sign of Sagittarius. So, what can you expect with fun-loving Venus in Sagittarius in your fifth house? Well, just that. A lot of fun and a lot of love, Leo rising, as it makes a blessed trine to your rising sign at this time. Boy, you are so popular with love and romance, Leo rising, and you are very popular with those in the dating area. If you are a single Leo rising, if attached, oh my goodness, you are going to have some sweet fun. And while you're at it, you may want to hang out with your kids and grandkids, as this is a great time for expression, hobbies, and creativity. Then moving along from November 5th to November 5th until the end of December, we have Venus in Capricorn, Leo rising. This will be in your, well, detail-oriented client and work-oriented house of the 6th house. So this is a time you might find yourself working much in the way of overtime, but because Venus is in the very serious and workhorse sign of Capricorn, you may get especially wonderful nods at this time. And who knows, maybe you'll find the perfect job right now that you've always been looking for, Leo rising. Now, Leo rising, we come to the Mercury retrograde phases, and the first one is January 30th to February 21st, 2021, and it goes from Aquarius to Capricorn, and that will be respectively from your 7th house to your 6th house. Leo rising. So this is a time, yes, you want to be careful connecting with all legal matters. Watch what you have to say in all partnerships and romantic relationships, Leo rising. Next, once Mercury ekes back into your 6th house, Leo rising, you must be careful not to go overboard with any dietary or work concerns. This is not the time, Leo rising, to put in too much at work, because working too much overtime and getting involved with too much organizational skills could be detrimental to your health. However, another area to watch out for is your job and work communications. Now we have Mercury retrograde May 30th to June 23rd, and that is in the sign of Gemini to Taurus, and respectively that will go retrograde from your 11th house to your 10th house. So you want to watch with those wonderful fun communications with friends and the like, that you don't get in any kind of spats now, and do watch your organization fun with those closest to you as far as charities and organization. Take the lead as you do, Leo rising, but be careful you don't go overboard in all organizational skills and fun. The next Mercury that goes retrograde will be in your 10th house, and that will be in Taurus, and it will be at the top of your chart. So yes, you are the boss, Leo rising. You are so original, and you know how to be number one. But at this particular time, especially with Mercury close to in the 10th house of Uranus, watch your sense of authority and power with those closest to you. Take a light touch in command, Leo rising. Now we move on. September 27th to October 18th, we have Mercury retrograde in Libra to Virgo. Now, that will be respectively your 3rd house of communication and the written word, and all communications in general. The computers could break down, and do be keeping an eye out on all your car repairs. Get to know those neighbors, but keep it on the down low. When Mercury goes retrograde into your 2nd house, this is the time to kind of bite your tongue a little bit there, Leo rising. And because the Mercury retrograde in Virgo opposes Neptune in the sweet and sour sign of Pisces, do be careful that you want to be clear with all speech, and also watch the foods you eat at this time, and keep an eye out that you watch your valuables. You do not want to have anything suddenly misplayed. Now, moving along, we have Uranus retrograde in Taurus until January 14th for a brief time. Then it will go retrograde again September 19th Well, for all the year, pretty much. So, during these retrograde phases, what does Uranus rule? Leo rising? Well, Uranus is at the top of your chart for quite some time in your 10th house. You will be expressing your most creative self, and people will take notice of your daring and unique, unusual sense of style and genius. Be that unusual leader they see you to be. Show your grand style in your career, Leo rising. Now, we have Neptune, which goes retrograde in Pisces June 25th to all year. Now, with Neptune in its retrograde phase, that will be Leo rising in your 8th house. And so sometimes you may be doing a little too much daydreaming in its retrograde phase. However, those daydreams will become career or very emotional realities. Write down some of those very spiritual and insightful dreams, Leo rising. Now we move along to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, April 27th until November 1st. And Pluto in Capricorn, boy, she likes power in that sign. And that will be back into your 6th house of work. Now, there may be some concerns connected with your work for that brief time, maybe some stumbling blocks and finding the perfect job. But with Capricorn Pluto, you will be very determined to make things work, and that includes all your connections with diet, co-workers, and who knows, you might find the most perfect pet for you at this time. Now, moving along, Leo rising, we are going to look into the solar and lunar eclipses for what's ahead for you for 2021. Now, the first eclipse is on May 26, 2021. It is a total lunar eclipse, and that's at 5 degrees Sagittarius. And Leo rising, that makes a blessed trine for you, Leo rising with the early degrees of Leo. However, at that time, it's a full moon, Leo rising in your 5th house of fun. So make sure you're not going to party too much, and do watch what you have to say to those closest to you. Now, we then move along to June 10th, 2021. We have an annular solar eclipse, and that's at 19 degrees Gemini. And where is that? Leo rising, that's in your 11th house of fun. Now, you at this time will feel especially zesty with all your best buds. And maybe this is a great time to have that group picnic or discuss the law of attraction, Leo rising. Moving along, we have on November 19th, 2021, we have the partial lunar eclipse, and that's a full moon in Taurus at 27 degrees. Now, this will meet up and surpass the Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. Now, with a full moon there, just make sure there's no difficult connections with those in authority, and show everybody, Leo rising, your bossy and dramatic style. The next moon we have is a total solar eclipse, and this is a new moon, Leo rising. And since it is in the sign of Sagittarius, it is now going to light up a new moon in your 5th house. Wow, you may feel that you have met that special somebody, and well, you cannot have enough fun. And those fun times with kids is just great. Take it easy and have a good time, Leo rising. So overall, 2021 for you, Leo rising, will be a good year. However, there are going to be some snafus with regards to communication and especially with the partnership or legal affairs. However, with Saturn and Jupiter there, it might be a great time to start, or you finally get an end to that lawsuit you've been waiting for. However, with the 10th sign emphasis, the 10th house emphasis, you are going to be ever so unique, eccentric, and well sought out in your career this year, Leo rising. Make it work. Be so daring. So, this for you, Leo rising, is cheers to a happy and eventful 2021. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.